Hi gals, it's Kristen. Forgive me, I'm actually recording in front of my shower right now because my bathroom has the brightest lights that I could get in a short amount of time, because I usually film in the bedroom, but it's really overcast right now, and we don't have we have lamps in the bedroom, but we don't have like a ceiling light. So anyways, I decided the bathroom's got much better light, but it's kind of like wash you out light. So sorry about that. But anyways, I thought that I'd give you our update on Phoenix's third week. We're coming in a little late for this just because last week was crazy, but I wanted to be able to give you the update. And so let me try and think about everything that happened and how he and I are doing. So last Monday, I had told y'all that we were probably going to go to the breastfeeding support group and let the lactation consultant watch him. And we did do that. That was a really interesting experience, a good experience. It was weird for me because it's a group run by the hospital. I've only ever been to like La Leche League group meetings before, and this had a completely different vibe. So I wasn't really expecting that, but it did. So anyways, it wasn't bad. It was just different. But I got to weigh Phoenix there, so he weighed exactly 13 pounds last Monday. And let's see. The lactation consultant did watch him nurse, and she said that he does look like he's a little bit tongue-tied, maybe a posterior tongue tie, really. And she said that probably we would have trouble getting somebody up here to look at that. We would either have to go to the dentist in Grand Rapids, Dr. Kingma, or maybe the ENT up here, which is, that's the office that I talked to already and didn't really like. But maybe the ENT would look at him. So really the next thing for me to do, she gave me a couple of other suggestions, like trying to nurse in the football hold, always supporting my breast while nursing, and really making him open wide because he's kind of a lazy latcher. Yes, you. And so I've tried those things. It's been several days since then, and I mean, I still feel like he's really not a great nurser. I don't know. I haven't tried the football hold really, just because I've never really used the football hold, so I need to watch some videos or something on it to see if that makes a difference. But yeah, overall, I just don't know what I'm going to do at this point. I think my next step is going to be I need to make him a 1-month appointment with our primary care provider and take him in to see her and see what she says. I need to have her look at him for just because of his breathing is still pretty quick too a lot of the times. It is right now. So I need to just get in to see her and talk to her about it because she would do the referral to the ENT, and I don't know. Nursing is still kind of uncomfortable for me. It's not like agonizingly painful. I don't have cracked or bleeding nipples or anything, but it's still not comfortable. So I don't know. It's at this point, do I feel like going through all of that is worth the hassle? I mean, just because the secretary at the ENT's office wasn't really nice doesn't mean that the ENTs will be like that. So I could ask Anna, our primary care provider, to give me a referral just to take him in and see. I don't have the money right now, and Scott doesn't want to drive to Grand Rapids to go down to see the pediatric dentist, which would actually really be my preference since I've now had multiple referrals to him. The lactation consultant on Monday mentioned him. I actually had a subscriber from the newsletter email me with a list. She's a speech therapist, and she emailed me a list of trusted providers, and he's one of the listed providers for my state. We have a client like from the midwifery practice who's been pleased with him. So really my ideal would be to take Phoenix down to see him, but Scott doesn't want to drive the 2-hour drive to Grand Rapids just for that, and we don't have the $250 either. So it's kind of, and because it's not, he's gaining weight well, and it's uncomfortable for me, but not horrifically painful or anything. I'm not going to quit nursing him because of it. So, is it really worth it? So I think my next step for the tongue tie issue is to talk to Anna about it, see what she says referral wise. Maybe we'll go see the ENT. maybe we won't. I don't know. Right now I'm so burnt out on going places with him. That's another thing. He's baby number 8, but I still find getting out and about with him to be so overwhelming right now. He's actually really good in the car. I wish I hadn't had to put him in the car so many times already, but he's really good in the car. And he's good like when I'm walking around and stuff, but it's just the logistics of getting everything together and all of that still feels overwhelming. And I'm like thinking, I know I mentioned this before, but like, oh my gosh, how am I going to go back on call and have to handle him too, and in addition to everything that I need to take for me to go to a birth, which is like a backpack and my purse and everything. But now it'll have to be the diaper bag, and how do I take my stuff and his stuff, and because at a birth you could end up potentially there for a while, so you got some changes of clothes and all this kind of stuff. So anyways, just that's kind of overwhelming still. But last week we ended up having to be out more than I wanted to again, because after the lactation consultant appointment, or the support group, I went to the store and bought a bike for Galen for his birthday, because that's what we had decided. His birthday was last week, and we decided to get him a 20-inch bike. And the bike I bought was on sale. It wasn't until I got home that I realized that they had charged me the full price and not the sale price when I went to enter the receipt into our budget software, which we use YNAB in case anybody cares. But so then Scott said, well, I'll take you back to town on Wednesday, because I didn't teach my classes on Monday. I taught them on Tuesday, so I couldn't go back on Tuesday. So he said, well, I'll take you back into town on Wednesday so you don't have to drive, and we'll just get all that straightened out and do some grocery shopping, which is what we did. But of course it meant that we had to be out on Wednesday with him. And then Thursday was co-op, and thankfully the homeschool co-op met at a church that's like 7 minutes away from my house. So that wasn't too bad, and it was really low-key, but still it's like getting out and about with a newborn. And last week my kids sort of had colds, just mild colds, but that was still going on. His congestion was actually a lot better last week, and it's still pretty good. Like at night, he gets a little bit, but it's not bad. So I think he's feeling much better, and I thus far haven't gotten anything, keeping fingers crossed. I've been taking an immune tincture from Earthly, and I don't know if that's because everybody else in the family has gotten it but me, and then he had a super mild course of it, and so I don't know, like, is it that tincture that's helped me? Because I kind of hoarded it for myself. I've been taking it 2 weeks on and 2 weeks off since I was pregnant with him, just to try and keep myself super healthy for pregnancy and birth and having a newborn. So anyways, I don't know, but thus far it seems to have worked. So anyways, but everybody else kind of had the snuffles, so it was a little grouchy, and so that was like in the afternoon, and then coming home was a little bit hectic, but Scott stayed home. He didn't come with us to the co-op since it was so close, and so he was able to get supper started, which was nice. But anyways, that was just so much going on, and just a lot last week, and a lot to absorb, and a lot to try and figure out. How I'm doing, I'm feeling pretty good. I felt good last week. I think the biggest thing for me is I've still got a little bit of bleeding, but it's super minimal. It's like a smear or two every day, like just enough that I need to keep something like a panty liner or a mama cloth, but there's no significant bleach driving me nuts, really, because it's just enough that I can't, just wear undies. And it's just like, why? Just stop. Why this little bit every day? So I'm grateful, because after some of my babies, I've had more significant bleeding for longer, like after my earlier babies. But after Corwin and Sadie, my bleeding had already stopped by this point. So I'm kind of wishing it would have stopped already. But I think, too, it's just there's been more stress. And I've ended up having to be out with him more than I would like. And, whoops, sorry, I hit the bathtub. So I think that's been stressful. And then just, financial worries and everything. Because October has been a low month for the business. None of my promotions have done well. So there's that stress. Overall, I feel pretty positive right now, which is good because I feel like as far as our family goes, I feel like we've been doing pretty well. Scott and I have been greatly improving, like frustration level and everything. And then we've also been reading a book. It's called Roles, and it's written by Nicolene Peck. It's like a story, and I've been reading it out loud to the kids, but it's been very interesting. Like, it's a teaching story, and everybody has liked it so far, and it's just given us a lot of thought. And even though we haven't made like terribly many changes, it's it's kind of given us some hope for things, that like points of frustration that maybe we can help overcome those. I've also been working slowly but surely on a new chore system, slowly, because he's like, last week, he sleeps well at night, but during the day, his daytime sleep was totally out the window, which is probably because we were out and about so much. And he's definitely getting to the point where he wants to be sleeping in my arms or in the carrier. He doesn't want to be even really in the rock and play for very long. He did sleep well Friday afternoon. He slept for like 2 hours in the rock and play, which was so nice. I actually went in to check on him a couple times, and I didn't really know what to do with myself, so I didn't use it as well as I should have. But Scott had taken the older kids to the library because we're still having horrendous problems with our internet. We just are having a hard time getting a reliable internet going out here in the boonies. And so he took the kids to the library, which does have good internet, to do their schoolwork, because they do all their schoolwork in OneNote, which then needs to sync, so it needs good internet. And so he took the older kids there, and I just had the younger ones here, and that was actually really nice for me because it was just kind of relaxed and low-key, and he slept. And actually, when he woke up, I put a folding chair in between the girls' and the boys' room, and I kind of just verbally walked the younger kids through, okay, let's get these rooms clean. And they actually did a really good, cheerful job for me. So Friday was a really nice day. But overall, his sleep hasn't been good. And I've definitely struggled some with, like, I can't do anything. I have to hold him all the time. And as much as I love him, that can get tiring. Or when I want to do something like put together a new chore chart, I really want both hands. What's worked the best for me is to get up a little earlier in the morning, because he'll stay sleeping in the bed with Scott, and now he's being grouchy. And am I stuck on yet? So I've gotten a little bit of work done early in the mornings, but then the last few mornings I haven't gotten up early, so that hasn't worked very well. It's also very hard when you're cuddled with a sweet baby to get up out of bed early in the morning. It's like I really kind of want to do that sort of thing in the evening. And then there's other frustrations too. Like, I want to be able to sit down in the evening, and now that we're back to doing homeschool stuff, the older kids especially often have a few assignments they need to work on at night because they haven't gotten them finished during the day. And so they're up and up and up, and it's like I never get a chance to just be Scott and I. And that can be really challenging too. And like I said, I feel really positive right now overall. I also feel positive about the business, even though my promotions were abysmal. This October has been the lowest month to date income-wise, which is definitely not what we need. But at the same time, my newsletter open rates are up, and I don't know, I just feel really positive for some reason. So that's a good thing. But it's, I'm still sharing things that are challenging in the moment, like feeling like I can never have a moment where I'm not holding the baby, or I never have a moment to do anything. I can't sit down and type out an email to my mailing list because I only have one hand, or, he won't just lay down and sleep sometime. And part of that I know, and like I'm constantly mentally checking myself, even though it's really challenging, like reminding myself, okay, this stage is going to pass. It's not going to last for very long. And the time where I can just, sit with him all cuddled up. Like if I didn't have older kids to homeschool, I wouldn't get out of bed. Like I would just say, okay, it's so cozy and snuggly with him. I'm just going to stay in bed until he's ready to wake up, and then we'll get up together. Because those moments are so fleeting. I have older kids that I have to get up and get the homeschool day started with in order for that to feel successful and not stressful. But otherwise, and when I end up sitting in the recliner again, nursing him again, it's like this time is going to go so quickly, and then he's going to be running all over the place and too busy for me. So I'm constantly reminding myself of those things, but it's still a struggle. You know, there's still that mental thing, and especially when I think, okay, the business hardly made any money. I've got to figure out what to do to make some money because we have to be able to pay the mortgage and that sort of thing. It's like, still, there's probably enough. We'll eke by. We have a little bit left in savings. So, you know, being with him is more important, and cuddling him is more important than worrying about those things. So it's definitely, I mean, I'm definitely not immune to that mental struggle and that feeling like, oh my gosh, you know, this baby only wants me. And that's actually not true either. That's been something really nice, is my oldest 3 kids, even Cassidy, who's been she loves toddlers, but she's more shy around babies. She's been really, really great, kind of getting over her fear of dropping a newborn. And they'll like walk around with him and carry him some in the evenings. He's had some fussy evenings, and that's really nice because there's 3 of them and they'll trade off, and then Scott will often jump in and walk with them after they've exhausted, you know, their patience level, or really, I don't think it's patience level. I think it's just he's so massive that everybody's arms get tired. But that's given me some space to be able to do a couple things, or just to have a break, or to read a story to the younger ones. So that's been really, really nice for me this time around. I didn't feel like I got that with Sadie, and so I've tried to work more. To make sure that I encouraged that with him. And so I'm really grateful for that. But, you know, it's intense right now, and there's so much else going on. But overall, I feel really good. I wish that I could make up my mind or have like a magic fairy wave over him so that nursing was going perfectly well. And I wish I didn't have to go out quite so much, or didn't feel like I had to go out quite so much. I don't know. I'm going to show y'all in a minute. I'm going to give you like a clip of what the weather's doing here. So I don't know if I'll end up going out tomorrow. I also wish he didn't breathe so fast. I don't know if y'all can hear that, but because I really don't want to feel like I have to take him to the doctor to try and figure that out. But he's still breathing really fast. Like, I've been recording for 17 minutes and he's been huffing and puffing the entire time. So anyways, but I have one of my primary clients, so the primary midwife under supervision, has an appointment tomorrow evening, and I really want to try and make her appointment, because I missed her appointment last month because I just had a baby. I'm only planning to go into her appointment, and we also need to do Phoenix's hearing screen because we haven't done that yet, so we'll do that after her appointment. But there are benefits to working for your midwife, or being a student with your midwife. But, you know, and then we have co-op on Thursday, which I really want to go to. Again, it's at the closed church. But I sort of wish I could just be home with him. And then next week, I think we've got, like, stuff to go to. And it's just, I do wish that I didn't have to take him out and about so much. And I do wish that I could be free from the worry about money. That was something that was really nice after Galen, Honor, Corwin, and Sadie. When Scott was still working for the bank, it was like, I mean, we still had to be careful with our money because we had a big family and a middle-class income, but it wasn't, you know, it wasn't really month to month like with when you're self-employed in a business that's you know, not scaled fully yet. So, anyways, I wish some of those stresses weren't here because that would make it easier. But overall, like I said, I'm feeling really positive. I feel really positive. I feel like especially things with the family have been going really well. Like, we've been talking more with the kids, and I feel like we've just been connecting more, which is really nice. Oh, the one other thing that I wanted to talk about that's driving me nuts is something kind of silly. Like, y'all, I don't know if y'all have noticed, but I still have my rings on my necklace because I can't get them back on my finger. I thought when I was pregnant that it was just a little bit of swelling. I think it's actually weight gain. So I have like a little bit of extra padding on this finger. When they weighed me at the WIC office, and this has been, almost 2 weeks ago now, so I should have talked about it then, but I was down 30 pounds already, which is fabulous. I was actually super pleased, but I gained 55 pounds overall in pregnancy, which leaves me still with 25 to lose, and so there must be a couple of ounces here. And in all honesty, if that wasn't the case, I would be super thrilled. But the fact of the matter is I really want to put my rings back on, because even though I wear them, it's just, they're really special to me, like especially the engagement ring. It's a ring that I really loved, and so Scott, you know, he saved to be able to get me that ring, and it's beautiful. And then he got me the wedding. I wanted a really plain, simple white gold band for the wedding ring because the engagement ring is a little bit fancier. So he got me exactly what I wanted, and I love seeing the ring on my finger because it reminds me of basically, you know, when we were dating and engaged and all that fun stuff. So I want to have it back on my finger, and I can't get them back on my finger, or I can slip them down, but they feel uncomfortably tight. So as far as weight gain goes, I would really like to see this get gone, and then I feel really, really happy because, you know, dropping 30 pounds at that point, I was 2 weeks postpartum, was really nice, especially since I gained 55 pounds, which I don't think I gained too much. I mean, I could wish that I had only gained 30 pounds, but I grew a huge baby, and I had a huge placenta, and there was all his amniotic fluid and everything in there, and I think that just dropping that 30 pounds right away was great. And especially with as much as he nurses, I'm hoping that the rest will come off pretty easily, but I'm not too worried about it. The only thing that's driving me crazy is the fact that I can't put my rings back on. So I'm hoping that maybe he'll nurse that extra padding off. But otherwise, like I said, I feel really good this week. I feel really positive. The biggest things I could wish were that I could just say, I'm not going anywhere, but that, you know, that doesn't often happen in life. I wish I could just be at home, and I wish October had been a better month for the business, but it's okay. I can hope for November, work for November. And so I guess really what I'll update you on next week is hopefully I'll get him in, talk to Anna, find out what she thinks like about the fact that he still breathes pretty fast some of the time, and talk to her about the tongue tie. And I'll just let you know in general how this week's gone. Life with a 4-week-old, how that goes. I want to try in the upcoming days and just continue to work with him, putting him in the rock and play if he wakes up. I'll bring him over to me and help him settle and get back to sleep again, and hold him if I need to. But I really want to get him back into more of a napping habit, because I would really like it. It makes homeschooling easier to have him napping. So, oh buddy. And now he's getting really grouchy. So we'll finish up. I'll get this video uploaded for you guys and let you know how hopefully that appointment goes, and hopefully you know, some progress with napping and all of that. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully he'll get a little more settled. I think part of it's just he's starting to wake up more and trying to figure his world out, and that can be difficult. So say hi to everybody. He says hi. I'm grouchy. Oh, I'm grouchy. But anyways, we love you guys. Let us know how you're doing in the comments. Any tips or thoughts or things you'd like to see. I'm going to go film a little bit about what's going on out front at my house where I hear pounding, so who knows what's going on, and what you can see out my back door. I'll put that on the end of the video and get it uploaded, and I hope you guys have a blessed week. Okay, I'm about to open my bedroom door. Let's see what we see out here. We see jury-rigged internet connection that we're trying to get better. Oh, this is what we see. People in the laundry room. Now, why are they dressed like that? Why are y'all dressed like that?
We want to go outside. We first have
Why do you want to go outside? Show me. Go show me outside. Show me what you want to go outside for. Why do you want to go outside?
Just swing.
Is that why you want to go outside?
Yeah, we can swing in the snow.
You can swing in the snow?
Yeah. See?
So this is what's going on. The flakes are actually much smaller. They're actually kind of looking more like rain now. But yeah, we had these huge white flakes, and so the snow has begun for us here in northern Michigan, which makes driving no fun. So we will see. We'll get this video up for you guys. Have a blessed week. Love y'all all.